Hello, and welcome to another episode of Video Game Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Final Vendetta on the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to start by comparing this game to the beat-em-up classic Final Fight, because the two games share some of the same strengths. Final Fight features what are, to this day, decades later, some of the largest, chunkiest character sprites in a beat-em-up game ever. They also feature a good level of visual detail, and again, that's even by today's standard. Also, the sound effects in Final Fight are still some of the most crunchy, impactful, and satisfying in the entire history of the genre. The character sprites in Final Vendetta, while not as large as those in Final Fight, are still larger than average for the genre. There's a good level of detail here, and the sound effects are also strong and impactful. Where Final Vendetta has the advantage over Final Fight is in having a more modern and sophisticated combat system, which helps to ward off the dreaded beat-em-up monotony that's, unfortunately, even though I love the genre, it's somewhat inherent in the genre if you're not very careful with your design and your execution. You know, and Final Vendetta manages to kind of dodge that bullet here. So where does this game fall short? Well, it's pretty brief. It comes in at only 6 levels, but I don't necessarily see that as an issue, since that means it doesn't overstay its welcome. When the game first released, there wasn't enough of a difference between easy and hard mode. They were both, it was almost the same difficulty. There were a few minor changes, but it wasn't really that substantial, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions. But they've since pushed an update that has made easy mode substantially easier, which I don't think is a terrible thing. There is no normal mode, it's just easy and hard, but on hard mode, it's pretty much essential that you find the one hidden life in each stage, like every stage has an extra life hidden somewhere. And in hard mode, finding those is definitely essential, and honestly, it can even be helpful in easy mode to make your life even easier. Because, just like this developer's earlier work, Battle Axe, which I've reviewed on this channel, there are no continues in this game either. So once your lives run out, it's not a roguelite, it's straight up old school. If you lose all your lives, you start over. That's it. Also, even on easy mode, I would consider the final boss to be pretty cheap. I'm sure there's going to be some speedrunner out there who can beat him without taking any damage in under 15 seconds or whatever, but for the rest of us mortals, the last boss is pretty cheap. So you're probably going to need a stock of extra lives by the time you reach the end of the game to kind of get through him. And so then on to the issue of value. This game, like Battle Axe, sells on the eShop for $25. And I don't mind paying that much for a competent beat-em-up. But $15 feels a little more appropriate to me for this game. Unfortunately, from what I've seen in the past, this developer doesn't seem to put their games on sale all that often, so you might be waiting a while. But if you've got the extra money to burn on a decent beat-em-up, this is not a bad choice. In closing, I would rank Final Vendetta as being better than Samurai Riot or Shredder's Revenge, but not as good as Streets of Rage 4, The Takeover, or Raging Justice. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, whenever that may be. Bye-bye.